Oh, good, I'm alive. Okay. Hi everybody. Okay, good. My last stream got interrupted by my camera for some reason. Um, like I said, before Mumology 101 finds this video and uses it for anything, I just want to assure you that this is not some uh, video to try to capitalize um, on the idea of mental illness being suddenly popular on YouTube and all this. And so, no, it's really about me trying to deal with something that happened and just facing the facts that I seriously need some help right now. Um, I'm going to see a counselor later this afternoon. I'm going to my school's counseling services to talk with them, but I wanted to put this out there to just kind of show what the last straw was in trying to um, and what's facing making me face finally getting help and just facing the depression that I've been feeling for a while now. Um, so now over the summer, I kind of started going through this when I wasn't able to find a job right away over the summer. Um, and then now that I have a job, I'm still depressed. Thinking maybe if I find another job, I'll just stay at this job for a while, find another job, and then it'll get better. And then this happens. And so it's kind of making me face the fact that I seriously need to get another job and I need to talk with somebody about what my feelings are. And so if I start crying during this, I don't know when I'll start crying because I'll tell people about it and I won't be crying, but then I tell other people about it and I start crying, and it's just kind of weird um, as to where my emotions are at any one point. So just to kind of go over what the last straw was as far as me facing the depression that I've been going through lately. Last week, um, we had a near tragedy. A very freak thing that could have killed my husband. Um, Last week, he was getting ready for bed. And while he was getting ready for bed, he bent down to get his socks off the floor. And all of a sudden, he started getting a severe headache and his severe chest pains. And when it didn't go away after 20-25 minutes, uh, he came downstairs, told me he wasn't feeling well. I was sleeping on the couch at that point, and told me he wasn't feeling well, that he was going to go to the hospital. And I was still like half asleep at the time. So um, I have a feeling and then he drove himself to the hospital. Um, and then I get a call at like 2:30 in the morning, um, asking me to bring his phone charger and phone charger because he'd been diagnosed with a very serious heart ailment. Um, and it turned out what happened was that he was diagnosed with something called a aortic dissection. And because what happened was that it's something. When I do not read up on this stuff when you're in this kind of crisis mode, um, or afterwards, because you're just going to drive yourself crazy about the possibilities of what's going to go on. But so he was diagnosed with something called an aortic dissection, and um, the so I went to the hospital. Of course, I was like crying when I was there. When I met him at the hospital because of what he told me. They were going to airlift him to a to one of the best hospitals in the state, um, and so that's what they did. They airlifted him there. They did surgery on him all day and for most of the morning and part of the afternoon. Um, were able to rebuild his heart, and get it all fixed. Um, but those days were kind of touchy afterwards because they weren't sure if it was going to be a complete success or not, or all that. He made it through the surgery. He made it afterwards. Um, so my husband now has a now somewhat rebuilt new heart. Doctors told me is what happened was that he had an aneurysm in his aorta, and the aneurysm burst, and that's what caused the aorta. That's what caused the dissection. And and of course, I was scared, and upset for like 3 straight days. Um, and I'm still scared because something still can happen, and and this all kind of played into fears that I've had for the longest time. That since we're both in our 40s, um, that he wasn't going to make it to 50, and before you wonder why I would have that kind of a fear is because uh, my husband is one of was one of 3 siblings, and his 2 other siblings have passed away before they hit 40. Um, my brother-in-law my brother-in-law was probably around the same age as my husband is now when he passed away from undiagnosed diabetes. He had a heart attack, and diabetes um, made him think he had flu symptoms instead of a heart attack, and he died at the hospital. And then my sister-in-law, um, well, hers was more self-inflicted because she had she was a long time alcoholic, so she died from complications from that. Um, and hers wasn't a surprise, but hers was their brother though was a big surprise. Um, so us going into our 40s, um, kind of played into a lot of fears that something was going to happen, and that I was going to lose him before he hit 50. And when this happened, and I found out what happened, it just kind of affected me quite a bit because it almost played into one of my biggest fears. Of sorry, this is kind of emotional talking about it. And so anyway, Doug had the surgery. My husband had the heart surgery, and he had the surgery, so it was kind of touch and go for a while. And but he's gonna be all right. He's gonna be all right. He's just gonna be on blood thinners the rest of his life, and just to make sure it doesn't happen again. And for what Doug told me, there was nothing they really could have done. It wasn't like he didn't do anything wrong to cause it. Um, and it's not like it was a heart attack that would have. I mean, it might have involved the heart, but it wasn't a real heart attack. It was just some kind of freaky fluke thing that happened. And so if he stays on the blood thinners and all that, it shouldn't happen again. And so because of that, um, and because he's still in the hospital right now, I'm waiting for him to give him the okay to go home. Because he was talking about they might have sent him home yesterday, but they were worried about the blood thinners and about the fact that his levels weren't quite where they want them to be for them to send him home yet. So, so, um, and so because of that, he's on his way. Um, because he might come home today, he might come home tomorrow. He doesn't know yet. I'm hoping he'll be sooner than later. Um, because honestly, I want him home, and because I miss him, and our son who misses him, and I just want him home. And and because of the fact I cannot, I have not been able to really face being on phones at work, um, because I'm scared that with my emotions kind of running all over the place right now that I'm gonna do something that's gonna get myself fired. So from the position, um, so I've kind of been staying home, and I'm gonna go back to work on Monday, and I'm gonna see a counselor today, uh, at school, and to talk with somebody and about it, and just kind of put out there my fears and all that, and this whole thing has just kind of been the last straw for me to figure out what I need to do, and the fact that I need to talk with somebody about this and try to face it. And I mean, I've had history of depression in the past, but um, with the more recent stuff, is just this has just been final straw stuff for me. I've been trying to fight it. Because I do community theater and I have rehearsals tonight actually. Because I do the community theater. And I have school that I still have to do homework for. So I'm gonna try to get some homework done. I'm probably gonna leave here early so I can do homework on campus instead of being around here, because I think being around here is just gonna be too much for distraction. Um, so I'm gonna go to campus today. I'm just gonna hang around campus for a while until I get to my appointment. Um, just so I can do some stuff before I have to get some homework done, and just get some general work done. And it's just been tough. But this whole thing with my husband causing me to um, has just been causing me to face facts and realize that I seriously need some help with my depression, um, and some help with what I've been facing and dealing with, and that I need better strategies to deal with this. And I mean, not only this, but just about everything. I mean, school's great. I've been keeping up with work. Um, I've been keeping up, not with work. I mean, not work, but I've been keeping up with my schoolwork. This week I've kind of fallen behind a little bit, but that's one of the reasons why I plan on going to campus beforehand, try to catch up. Um, and I've been trying to, and school's been going work good. The play has been going good. Um, but it's just everything else is just not good, and me just trying to deal with this burden is just making things worse, and just trying to deal with what's going on with me, and just and what do you call it? And just trying to face all this all by myself, and trying to be the rock for my son too, because he misses his dad. And in fact, I think it was the other day. The other day he was acting up in school and complaining about how he wasn't getting enough sleep, and all this, and I don't understand the whole not getting enough. I didn't understand the whole not getting enough sleep because he goes to bed at 8:30. He goes to 8:30. He gets up at 5:45. I mean, that's plenty of sleep for, and because of the fact I have to drop him off at um, I have to drop him off at the rec center for 6:30 before he goes to school, because that's where he goes first thing in the morning so that I can go to work, and just dealing with that, and I found out later, because my son is such a turkey butt, um, finding out that it was because he had read somewhere that kids are supposed to get 10 hours of sleep, like no question, and and for some reason, because of that, I think because he read that in a book, he thinks he's not getting enough sleep, and because he's not getting the exact number of 10 hours of sleep, he's my kid's very literal, and that he has to have at least 10 hours of sleep, and he expressed that he wants Santa to bring him a purple mattress. um, so yeah, my kid is weird. Um, I love him though; he's so good. Um, but I can tell it's affecting him. It's affecting me, and big time. Which is why I opted. Um, when I tried going in yesterday, and said I'm still having a hard time dealing. I just need to do me. My bosses were like, "We need you on the phones You can either go on the phones or you can go home for the rest of the week and just come back, try again on Monday. So that's what I have to do. I'm just going to try again on Monday because right now I can't deal with being on the phones and being with people, and I am going to get help today. Um, but the whole thing with my husband being in the hospital is just tough right now because it's only me, it's only him. Of me, him being my son. It's only the two of us here, and trying to keep up with housework and all of that, and also trying to deal with my emotions at the same time because I really want my husband here. Um, because he's been one of my biggest rocks for the longest time, and it's just been very very difficult dealing with that. So um, so basically the gist of it is I'm dealing with some severe depression. I'm dealing with a lot of overwhelmingness. I'm dealing with a lot of fullness, but I'm going to get help. Um, and Now I mentioned Memology 101 before. Yeah, I've been watching his series. It's been a very good series that he's been doing. Um, but I can assure you, this video is not sponsored by anybody. Nobody would want to sponsor me. I'm not that big. I don't even have 1,000 viewers. I don't even have 1,000 subscribers. Um, but um, just kind of dealing with um, this. It's tough, and so I just need to get it out there and just say that I'm reaching out. I'm getting help. I'm going to work on getting help. I made an appointment with the um, I made an appointment with a counselor on campus, so I'm going to go to campus later today, get some homework done, and then I'm going to go to this appointment, and then just kind of go from there. And so hopefully it'll help, and so that I can get better because that's what I need to do right now is I need to get better. I also need to find a new job, but I also need to get my first priority should be let's get better first. Um, so that's what I'm doing. I'm looking for another job right now. I'm looking to get better, so that's where I am right now. So I just hopefully I'm not boring anybody with this, but I just needed to talk and talk and talk and talk. And I'm probably gonna do more talking and more crying, and later on when I go to my appointment today. So, um, so I just wanted to get this out there. Okay, so hopefully next video is gonna be little nicer, not nicer, but hopefully a little better than this. Maybe some actual news to talk about. Um, so I will come back at another time. Thank you. And thank you for watching, and I appreciate you watching.